You are listening to Becoming Wildly Resilient, brought to you by University of Kentucky Human Resources Health and Wellness. Together, we will discover how we can thrive at work, home, and beyond. Hello, everyone. I'm Amy Rodquist-Kodet, health coach with the University of Kentucky Health and Wellness Program. Welcome to Becoming Wildly Resilient Practices, where we explore research-based tools and tips that help us thrive more in the areas of life that matter most. I'm glad you're here. Let's dive in. Today, we're exploring a practice called Transcendent Reframing. And before we do too deep of a dive, I want to name something that feels really important all around us, in our own neighborhoods and across the globe. There is profound suffering. Families are navigating illness, displacement, injustice, and loss. No 5-minute podcast can erase that. What we can do is practice ways of meeting the suffering, our own and others, with more resilience, compassion, and more meaning. Here's why it matters. Psychologists have shown the way we frame experiences changes how we carry them. Researchers call this cognitive reappraisal. Doctors Gross and John found people who can reframe challenges experience greater well-being and healthier relationships. Dr. Crystal Park showed meaning-making helps people adjust after trauma. But transcendent reframing isn't about positive thinking. We don't need to fake it till we make it. Instead, it's about asking, in the midst of pain, can I glimpse a bigger story? Can I find an invitation to grow and connect or act with compassion? This idea is echoed across traditions, from the wisdom of indigenous teachings to Buddhist perspectives on suffering to Viktor Frankl's reminder a sense of meaning can sustain us through unimaginable hardship. I first learned about this tool from my therapist, full disclosure, and I found it to be incredibly helpful, and maybe you will too. Earlier this year, one of my kiddos was rushed to the hospital by ambulance in the middle of the night, and everything is worse in the middle of the night. It was because of dangerously low oxygen levels. Unfortunately, we'd been in this emergency situation a couple other times before. But in that moment, I was terrified and gripped by fear and helplessness and so much love. I'd love to be able to say that I was able to practice this tool at 3 a.m. while I was following the ambulance, carrying my precious 5-year-old barreling down the freeway. But no, in that moment, I was completely overwhelmed. Here's the good news. It's never too late to process a traumatic event, even if you use this tool after the fact. It still counts. It can still be really helpful. So here's how it works. Number 1, name the stressor. For me, it was about acknowledging the raw truth in the moment that the whole experience was really terrifying. My child was struggling to breathe, and I felt completely powerless to make it better. The second step is shift the frame. Instead of only asking, why me, and why is this happening again, or whatever spiral your brain wants to ruminate on, see if you can stop and gently ask, what's the invitation here? For me, it was an invitation to advocate on behalf of my kiddo, to communicate really clearly and listen deeply to the medical team. to lean on the support of my community, and to be fully present with my son. Step 3 is to anchor in the bigger story. This is the one that takes a lot of practice, but has a big payout. Days or maybe even weeks later, after things had finally settled and my little guy was out of danger, I wrote one sentence that held the bigger story. For me, it was about those terrifying days in the hospital deepened my compassion for families everywhere facing a medical crisis. It reminded me of the preciousness and fragility of life. This did not erase my fear. Anchoring to the bigger story did not make everything better. It did not make me glad it happened, but it helped me to hold the pain and the fear differently. It's like connecting to my small story within the vast reality of human suffering and love. Parents around the world watching their kids in pain and feeling helpless. That was a way for me to connect and to grow my empathy. This practice can take on a lot of different forms depending on context. It doesn't need to necessarily be for a big, stressful event. Maybe you're a university professor here at UK and you're navigating the overwhelming demands, the increased workload, and the pressures to publish. Reframing might sound like, this difficult season is calling me to focus on what matters most: caring for my students, protecting space for meaningful scholarship, modeling resilience. For communities facing systemic injustice, reframing might mean this struggle is a call to solidarity, to collective courage, to remembering we are stronger together. The point is not to minimize pain or excuse inequities, but to weave them into a larger story that honors both the suffering and the resilience. So here's your invitation. The next time you are facing overwhelm or you witness suffering, pause. Name it. Ask what invitation might be present. And then, if you can, anchor in a sentence that places that moment inside a bigger story of meaning, of connection, of care. Transcendent reframing doesn't deny hardship. Instead, it helps us meet hardship with dignity, compassion, and hope. It reminds us that resilience isn't just personal, it's also collective. It's not just about bouncing back, it's about bouncing forward, carrying what we've learned into deeper love for ourselves, for each other, and the world. And if you're wondering how to begin, start small. I feel like a broken record. I feel like I say that every episode, but it's true. Bite off something small. Take one hard moment from your day today. Write it down. What is it asking of you? And then give it a sentence of larger meaning. One reframe may be the first step toward a more resilient spirit. So until next time, pause often, hold the bigger story, and keep practicing. Every small step is a powerful move toward becoming more wildly resilient. Be well. Thank you for listening to Becoming Wildly Resilient. This podcast is brought to you by University of Kentucky Human Resources Health and Wellness. We offer a wide range of online and in-person services to support the well-being of UK employees, retirees, and their spouses. You can find experts in mental health, personal resilience, nutrition, and physical activity. We're ready to meet you where you are and address your unique needs. To learn more about the work-life and well-being services offered by UK Human Resources, visit hr.uky.edu/wellbeing. You can also connect with us on social media and YouTube by searching @UKY Wellness or by email at healthandwellness@uky.edu.